Hello again, and welcome. This is Tuxedo Ian, and we are getting back to our playthrough of Book of Hours. This is going to be part 9 of our recording. We are getting close to the end of summer, and we have a couple things that we're going to attempt to do today. Maybe read a book, and I definitely have one thing on mind that I want to show off. So with that said, let's get right into it. So we're back in Hush House. It is the start of the day. We've already committed our weather for the day to reading this book, The Known Unknown Tantra. Carlos Garcia Sauri, the ecstatic mystic of the Pyrenees, was known to recite this in 3 languages, although he had never visited the subcontinent. And we have another book that we are reading down here that is The Orchid Transfigurations, Noon, the 3rd volume of a compilation of quasi-Rosicrucian allegories, supposedly by Robert Flood. This is in the original Latin. Now, one thing that we do have the ability to do while we are here is it is summertime, so if we wanted to, we could harvest some sea holly here, and I think I'm going to do that. To do that, we have to apply something with nectar, which would be our heart, our health, and rites of the roots. Gather the spiny fluorescences of the sea holly, and sea holly is only available during the summer. At wintertime, we'll be able to harvest blue crown from here, but until then, we can make do with some sea holly. We also have some here. We can harvest the history plant, Agave Eterna, or we could harvest some moth orchid. But right now, let's see, we also could harvest some fragrant chalice here. So we are going to use our core and coil and chasm to gather the scented blossoms of the fragrant chalice. And then once we have one of those completed, we will come back and we will rest our piece of soul so we can use it to harvest some agave eterna, because that will be useful for us in cooking. Let's see what else we have going on here. We have that. I'm still not sure how we're going to get that. Yeah, let's go ahead and hire... Well, first off, let's put our shap to work and get us another 6 pence. Yep. And we will come over to the smithy. And we're going to need something other than that. Let's hold off on that for now. But another thing we can do is we can go use our tryst and inks of containment to go gathering in summer on the beach. What has the sea seeded today? And then let's see. Now we could call out Mr. Kill. Would that do us any good? Well, maybe. We could get him to 5 winter. Let's try that. Let's get Mr. Kill's attention. Mr. Kill can always spare a few hours to help a friend. And we have a Memory of Fear with 2 scale and 1 edge. We might be able to use that. So what we will do for now, we will talk to Mr. Kill and see if he can give us some winter memories. And we can come over here, and we can use the last of this dandelion wine, which is mostly empty, to rest our whist for free, because we are running low on cash. Our book reading proceeds apace. And all we need is a memory with 2 winter on it, because we can then use the bronze knife to give him the 5th point of winter that we can use to open up the top of the stairs here, the Grand Ascent 3rd floor. And Memory of Fear. Dead men don't tell no bloody tales. Well, who'd listen? Anyway, so we'll talk to him again. Mr. Kill, Ryan Spry, doesn't mind stopping for gossip. We can add something to enhance his effectiveness, and he can make use of wood. We don't really have any wood just yet, so that will be something for the future. And we have done some fixing and mending. As they say in my youth, the day is done, and so am I, but I've earned my pay. And we could use our metal there to earn another, which I think... well, we can use our 2p that we have to rest, and then get another 6p so we can hire another... we can hire Denzel in the future. Some gossip. Yeah, 2 rows might be useful. Actually, we do have the infirmary. We could use him to open the infirmary, 4 rows. Let's talk to him one more time just to finish up reading these books, and then we can decide what we're going to do with him for the day. So this is the Orchid Transfigurations, Volume 3. A long dialogue between the Mountain Mother and the Vigilant Storm describes the ways in which both mountains and storms end, and the protections they use against those ends. "But we must use the knife," says the lion-throated one, "the noose, the flame, the walking word, against those who have passed the 3-valve door, and so none may pass. That is our law, and the law of the sun." Gives us a memory of Solus and a lesson of the Magaphine mysteries. And we will mark that book with the Solus memory to remind us that that's what it gives us, and file it into our red books pile. Our book here is just about done, so by the time we finish learning the Magaphine mysteries, we'll be able to learn the Watchman's paradoxes that this one gives. That amber preserves and is preserved by light, that no hatch is not to die, that a hatch is not to die, that is the sun. There is a place behind the world called the Mansus. Deeds that would be impossible in the world are inevitable there. The watchman, who knows all the ways of the Mansus, also knows how to make these deeds possible in the waking world. Thought we had, yeah. And after this, well, we have these 2 other busts we can put in, but we don't really know where they go just yet. On the beach, we have found some contraband flotsam, salt-stained and wave-racked. We can open that up later. Gather the spiny fluorescences of the sea holly. We found some sea holly, umbrellaed spiny flowers, the steel blue of a winter afternoon. They're a flower with moon, nectar, and winter aspect. Might find a use for those later, but it's always better to have some resources than none. And we've also acquired some fragrant chalice. Has 2 grail and 1 nectar. And for now, we'll put this unopened package here in the kitchen, in the servants' court hall, with these other packages that we need to open in a little bit. But for right now, we're too busy to do that. We can probably do that around wintertime when there's not so much going on. Alrighty. And we can go ahead and store our flowers here in the kitchen. A stolen secret. Something I overheard in dreams. Alright, so then with that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and give him this gossip, and then we can use our fet, and that will give him 4 rows that we can use to open the infirmary up here. My whist is rested. And we have learned the Magaphine mysteries. The greater plagues may not be cured, only bound. The very greatest of all may only be entreated, and it is death to do so improperly. Another moon skill, and heart, can be assigned to hushery or preservation, and is effective against corruption. So if we find a book that has a corruption on it, we can use Magaphine mysteries to get rid of it. Slowly building our skill repertoire here. Let's see. Is there anything we want to do with that whist right now? D10. Nope, we're not anywhere near that. Whist gives us winter and lantern. So we will go ahead and use that to catalog another period book from the 1700s to 1800s. I'll go ahead and throw that back to work. The Known Unknown Tantra has been read. The Known Unknown Tantra describes a journey to the white door of the Mansus, beyond which speech ceases. It describes a mantra which can be used at the right place and time to achieve that door. The light of a lantern can only ever reveal the space between the forest shadows. Gives us a lesson on the Watchman's paradoxes and a memory of revelation. So we can mark down that this gives us memory revelation. And we can learn the Watchman's paradoxes, which will give us sky and lantern. Alright, so we boosted up Mr. Kill's rose, and then we can use our fet to give him another 2 points of rose. Perhaps we shared a dream. Boosts rose and moth. And we have found Old Copper Nose and the Softer Metal, a disgraceful compendium of ribald poetry about the habits and corruptions of Henry VIII. Well, that certainly sounds engrossing. We will stick that onto our shelf up here. So we have 2, 3, 4. We could find 2 more forged somewhere. We'd be able to read this Book of Cinders, which would give us hieroglyphics. But for now, I think, let's see, is there anything we can do with this metal? 2 heart, 2 moon, 2 scale, 2 lantern. We'll move the unknown tantra to our red pile. Yeah, I think that might be handy. So what we'll do is we have plenty of other drinks here. Now that we've opened up the kitchen, we have 9 more drinks available to us. So we'll take the dandelion wine and we'll pour out another glass of it. And use that to rest our health. And we can do that because it has this tag restorative on it. For rest and recovery, something that will help you recover from maladies if you use it in bed with sufficient suitable power aspects, especially but not exclusively if it has useful power aspects itself. So we can rest and that will restore our health, and we can attempt to read this encircling tantra. So for now we'll move that over to here, because this is our desk that takes scale. And then let's see, what do we want to do with this metal? Can't use it at the desk there. Could use it here. So what we'll do... Actually, once the shaft gets done working at the Sweet Bones, we'll use the metal to earn another 6p. Should bring us close to the end of the day. We've learned the Watchman's paradoxes, 2 lantern and 1 sky. Can be assigned to illumination or nyctodromy. And again, there are reasons why I'm not going into the skill web just yet. There are some things that I prefer to put on the first level, such as the language skills that we'll be learning. We could call Arthur back once we're able to make some ink. We have inks of containment. We need a little bit more winter power to, or moon power maybe, to make ink with it, though. My assistant and I have an unspoken understanding, so Mr. Kill now has 4 rows. And we can send him up to the infirmary over here. Careless visitors have tracked in mud through the door, and the windows have been open to the elements for years. So we'll get him started working on that. Go ahead and fast forward time a little bit. And we'll throw our metal in to do some more fixing and mending and get another 6pence. And with that, we have unlocked the infirmary. In the 15th century, Natan of Regensburg came to Brankrug. The brothers of St. Brandon's granted sanctuary, but they would not permit a Jew and his family to live on abbey grounds. Still, they built this tower for him to dwell in and practice his healing arts. It has changed greatly since that time, but a place of healing it remains. So we have a basket of towels, a suitable companion for bathing. Well, we'll probably make use of that tomorrow. We also have 3 hospital beds here, guest bed infirmary, clean white sheets, and the unmistakable military ping of a steel bed frame. So if we wanted to, we could use one of these and make it our bed, but it would only be able to take nectar, edge, and heart memories over to the next day. Or if we have a guest that is interested in heart, we could park them here and they would stay around for a little bit longer. We also have a wicker chair, elderly but robust. Gives us a little heart. A vase of lilies. Some ruby-wise ruin. A ruddy liquor wrung from flowers, even when the flowers are not red. This is one of the more powerful drinks in the game, because as you can see, it gives us 2 rose, 4 grail, 2 heart, 2 moth, and 2 nectar, all at the same time. So there's a very good chance we're going to be using that with Mrs. Kill to boost her grail up for quite a bit. We also have some TRN Limited Drinking Cocoa, a cup of it. TRN's Spices and Savors department markets this as the secret sacrament of the last Inca. Gives us 2 grail and 1 heart. We also have a pot of drinking cocoa and another cup. And we have a bottle of serpent milk. It does look almost like milk, and it is drinkable, but don't give it to cats or babies. Has 2 knock, 3 scale, and 6 edge. So if we really need some edge, we can give that to somebody to drink. We've also found a watchful potted plant. Not everything needs eyes. Gives us a comfort with nectar and some lantern. We found a pale mommet, a gently twitching little cloth doll with melancholy button eyes and a frill of colored ribbons. Has 2 heart, 2 moth, and 4 grail. It's woven. I could take it to a workbench to render it into rags, even though we haven't found any workbenches yet. It's inert, a device, but not one that can be activated by casual handling, so I could examine it without destroying it. But it is a device, so if I give it to somebody to boost their stats, it will get torn up and destroyed, and we will not get it back. It is also a tool, one that we could use to read a book with if we really needed a boost in grail, moth, or heart, and we didn't mind using it up. We've found a bust of Musgrave de Wolf. This bust is carved from wood. Cherry. Some mist-kissed water. A pitcher of it this time. The faintest of vapor still ghosts upon the water's surface. With 2 moons, some winter, some heart, and 2 knock. We found a pale stool, bleached beech. Another fireplace where we can either destroy stuff or make some tea or cocoa or anything that we find a packet for. And we have 4 pieces of wall art. The Witch and Sister. The Witch and Sister unites what is at rest. She is sought at the water's edge and beneath the moon. She cannot be separated. She cannot be touched. She is coral, amber, pearl. Painting has 2 grail, heart, and 2 moth. The Thunderskin. He cannot be stilled. He demands the dance. He is beaten like a drum. He is heard in the wood below the world. Some art with 2 heart and 2 sky. The Velvet. The glory is a question, and the moth always answers yes. Well, we heard that from one of our books earlier. The Velvet's answer is no, and that is always her answer. This is a piece of art that gives us 2 moon. And the Sister and Witch. The Sister and Witch brings together what cannot be apart. She is sought beneath the moon and at the water's edge. She is pearl, amber, coral. She cannot be touched, she cannot be separated. And this gives us grail, heart, and moth. So the Sister and the Witch and Sister are basically mirror images depending on which part of him you're looking at, whether you want to talk to the Sister or whether you want to talk to the Witch, it seems. And this has opened up 2 new rooms for us. The Gloomy Room. The windows of this room is coated thickly with black paint. A little light seeps through. Otherwise, the room is dark. Very faintly, I can still smell rotting meat. We would need 5 edge or 5 heart to get rid of whatever it is that's cloaking that. And a neglected room. The room above might once have been some sort of lounge, but the furniture and equipment has been smashed and overturned. The walls are streaked with mildew. An unlovely smell wafts from further up. Well, we'll need 5 grail or 5 heart. We can probably get Mrs. Kill to fix that. And let's see. So we have a little bit of time left in the day. We're just about done resting our health over here. I deserved a little quiet time. So what we can do, we can take our health and come back over here to the pale desk. We can take the Encircling Tantra, our health, this Memory of Fear, and our Coil and Chasm, which gets us to 5 scale, which, if we were to just use it without the book, we could use it to craft a Bisclaverit's Knot, but we can almost match our Mystery of Scale, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start that, and hopefully it will give us a chance, it will give us the option to add something else that has scale on it, because we do have several different things in the house. We have this bust, we have some art, we have some drinks, some food. So hopefully we'll be able to finish reading that. And we are done at the Sweet Bones. And no real sense in resting anything because we're just about to finish for the day. So let's see what kind of opportunities it's going to give us here. Alright, so a memory or relevant furniture. Oh dear. Let's see, do we have any furniture that has scale on it? Nope, that's a thing, not furniture. It's a thing. It's a thing. Yep, looks like our gamble didn't pay off after all, and we're not going to be able to read that today. We'll have to try again another time, but at least it should finish up before the day ends. Let me scan over here again and see if there's anything that we might be able to use. Those are wall art, so they're not going to help. That's an item, so it's not going to help us. It's a material, but still not going to help us. Well, looks like we're not going to be able to finish reading that book for the day, so we'll go ahead and let that go ahead and time out. If I'd had another memory fear or something, I could have used that. But I would have had to read another book for that. Mysteries in this have defeated me for now. You can always try again later. Alright, so let's see what our final day of summer is going to give us. Okay, so this gives us a memory of regret, which is 2 winter. And some forge. Well then. Well, the first thing we'll do is we'll come over here and we will rest our health. So we can try and read that again, because now there is a deck of cards basically that it draws from to determine what opportunities you're going to get, and so we know that it's used the memories and it's used soul in the past. So this time we should be able to get a piece of wall art that we'll be able to use for inspiration. And for the rest of our soul pieces here, we can use one of our core pieces to catalog another Curia book. We can use Shaft here to catalog this last Curia book. And let's see, do we have anything we can do? Yes, what we'll do is we will get that top of the stairs open by getting Mr. Kill's assistance. Just speed time up a little bit here. And we can use this Memory of Regret to push him to 4 winter. And then we can use the knife here to push him to 5, so we can open up the top of the stairway. And we'll talk to him a little bit, so see if he'll give us another memory or something we can use to read a book. The Victory of Crowns. Erratic accounts by Aaron of the hunting and consumption of supposed immortals by shadowy assassins, published in the late 19th century. Only 4 edge. And it is the subject of sharps, knives, dangers, and things out of place. Well, we should be able to read that fairly easily once we can get if we can get a memory with edge, because this will give us some edge right here as well. And over here we have De Bellis Murorum, an 18th century epic poem by the pseudonymous Solistos. 6 edge, written in Latin, and it gives the subject of disciplines of the scar. Again, we just need a edge skill, which we only have 1 there, so it wouldn't quite get enough, but hopefully we'll be able to deal with that fairly soon. Yes, I think we'll be able to read this one. So we'll pop that into our inventory here. I think, yes. Let's see. So we have 1 edge there, 2 edge there, 3 edge there. We just need to find a 4th edge somewhere. We'll go ahead and lend Mr. Kill the bronze knife. I can lend my assistants something to increase their abilities. And then we can talk to him and see if he'll give us a memory we can use. And we could reread another book over here and get fear or something. Use a soul fragment for that. Not at the moment. I don't think I want to. And our health is better now. So we will use, let's see, we have our Faust back again, and we have 2 more lantern. Or we could do... Well, we don't have enough to get to 8 sky. We don't have enough to get to 6 sky. Definitely don't have enough to get to 10 moth. So this gives us 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so that actually would be worthwhile doing. So what we will do is we will take the Rose of Wasne. We will add our Faust, the Auroral Contemplations, and the Sun, the Sunny Day. Plus, we can also throw in our Mirror Scope, bewildering and occasionally useful. And just to let me check and make sure we do have some things with lantern on them. Yes, we do. We have some items. We have some furniture. We have wall art. Yep, so we should be able to finish reading that by finding one more lantern from somewhere. And yes, I could have used this Ashertine to finish that, but I'm gonna save that for reading the Opus Magnum Calarum later. And we'll go ahead and talk to him and see what he can give us. We've still got a little while before we need to make use of him for the day, but now we do have the ability to open this Grand Ascent 3rd floor. We'll worry about that tower later. These we'll worry about later. A Memory of Foresight. Well. Okay. Well, I guess that decides us for the day. So what we're going to do then is once this finishes, we will use that to read the Book of Cinders, which will, because we have 6 forge we can get. Because we have 2 from Transformations and Liberations, 2 from Metal, and 2 from Memory Foresight. So let's do one more talk with him. Let's see if he'll give us something else useful. And then we can put him to work clearing out that room. Alright, so this is going to ask us for either a piece of soul, a memory, or weather. Oh, drat. Well, we don't have any of that. Or do we? We have one piece. We can use the Memory Foresight. So that actually is luckily that we got that. We don't have another piece of Faust we can use, but we can use this memory, and he gave us another Memory Foresight. So we will continue to talk to him. Sometimes taking chances can pay off, because there's still a chance with these opportunities. We don't have any more weather, we already used the sun. And we'll use our Memory Foresight. And we have reached Lantern Revelation. Mr. Kill gives us a Memory of Storm, some Heart and Sky. Might be able to make use of that. Let's see if we can get him to give us another Revelation. Rose of Wasne. The heretical teachings of a disgraced offshoot of the Sisterhood of the Knot, that arcane contemplative order that existed in all histories. This was recorded by Wasne and dedicated to Saint Respicius. The offshoot favored by Wasne, the true sisterhood, followed Saint Respicius in pursuing ascension in the name of the door in the eye, that merciless hour of light. Saint Respicius failed, perhaps because the larger sisterhood tracked him down and ritually strangled him, but Wasne outlined steps for those who hope to succeed. Seek in dreams. Seek the Mansus. The 3rd mark can be achieved only when one has passed the stag door. One must pass the wood. One must rise to the white door. The stag door awaits the light bearer in the sight of Jirbi. And this gives us 2 lessons on Auroral Contemplations and a Memory of Revelation. So we will go ahead and mark that with the Memory Revelation. Oop, not with Storm. With Revelation. and move it over to our red books area. And now we can use Auroral Contemplations, one of those lessons, a Memory of Revelation, and we can use our metal to level this up to level 2, which will give us 3 lantern and 2 edge, which will make it easier for us to read some of these other books. And then if we can find 2 more lantern or edge memories, we can level it up to level 3. So what we'll need for that, we'll need our Faust. And yes, we're going to be cutting it close here, but I think we can manage it. Because we need lantern or edge memories. So what we can do is we can use Sunrise Awakenings and read that with our... No, we can't read it there. We can read it... Yes, we can use our health over here to read Sunrise Awakenings and get another memory revelation. And we can come down here and use our Tryst. We need something with either lantern or edge. It's winter. Ah, there we go. Edge. We can use Memory Fear, which gives us 1 edge. And that will allow us to put Auroral Contemplations at level 3, which will make it much easier for us to read lantern and edge books. A Memory of Regret. Not quite what we wanted, but we're getting close. Hopefully we'll get 1 more revelation here. Auroral Contemplations is now level 2. I think we'll get 1 more conversation out of him before we have to put him to work. And if he gives us something with lantern or edge on it, so much the better. Oh, we're already done. There's our Memory of Fear. And we come back over to here and get our Memory of Revelation. And we can zoom to the Sweet Bones. And our Faust is better now. And we get our change. And then we can take Auroral Contemplation, our Faust, these 2 memories, and the lesson. And I'm no expert, but I'm no dabbler either. Improve this skill to level 3. This will make it very much easy to read the Victory of Crowns on the next day. And of course he gives us a Memory Revelation. See, we can get 1 more conversation out of him. Just in time. Auroral Contemplation is now level 3, has 4 lantern and 3 edge. And a Memory of Storm. So we'll go ahead and put Mr. Kill to work, clearing out this Grand Ascent 3rd floor. Frost crackles on the window panes as I ascend, and the light strikes my eyes like knives, another of Van Loren's forbiddings. And I think that's just about it for the day. Might as well put my last core to work and Fett to work here and catalog 2 of these other books here, and at least start it. This is a book from the Solar period. This book was written around the time of Hush House's Solar Gothic period, roughly between the 1000s and the 1500s. If I examine it, I can learn more about what knowledge it might contain. Books from this period are occasionally contaminated. And we'll go ahead and let those run and see what the next day... And almost forgot to save a memory for the next day. Let's see. So we could save the Storm or the Regret or the Hindsight. Well, I don't know that we'll need winter, but we might need heart, so we will dream on the memory of storm and keep that for tomorrow. Just in time. And our next day, our first fall winter will be some rain, which gives nectar and grail. So we'll probably make use of that to open up this walled garden down here. I think might be the play, because we do have a new worker available in the Sweet Bones. But I think for now we are going to call that a day. And I will see you all next time. And we will probably work on unlocking the walled garden here. Maybe see if we can open up one of these other rooms over here with Mrs. Kill. And maybe read another book or two. So thank you for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed. And if you did, please leave a like or a comment down below. And I will see you next time.